to be more interactive with some of the websites that I think you may be more interested in seeing. So basically this session is intended to be some of the brief hows, who's, what's, whens, and where's about college scholarship. I'm Liz Sessoms, I'm supervisor of counseling, been a counselor in this field for 20 years. And it's a profession that I know and love. Someone talked about the arts, and I can tell you as a parent, I have a child who goes to Benjamin Floyd. And so I too am a big fan of the creative and performing arts. He plays jazz band, first he trumpet, and he's also going to a STEM high school. So for parents who don't know, there is a real correlation between the arts and math and sciences. And so it's recorded in research, and it really does work. And I'm, as a parent, looking for a scholarship too. So some of what I'm going to talk about, basically, very briefly, we'll run you through what is a scholarship, where can you find scholarships, how do you apply for scholarships, and that kind of thing. So there are some misnomers about who can get the money. And so today I do want to dispel some rumors about who can get the money around scholarships. So everybody should have the guide that we're going to use tonight. So before I begin, I just want to query the room a little bit. So if you are a student who's in the 9th grade, raise your hand. No 9th graders? 9th grader? Okay, so if you have a student, or if you parent, if you have a student who is in the 9th grade, you can raise your hand. So we just have parents who have 9th graders, please raise your hand. All right, 10th graders. So if you are a 10th grader or a 10th grade parent, beautiful, okay? 11th grade. So if you're in the 11th grade, you have an 11th grade student, all right? And 12th grade, seniors. Okay, beautiful. I also brought some additional handouts for you, and I'll talk about them at the very end of the presentation. But let's go briefly through the scholarship guide. The guide that you have, I can send to Shawnee so that she can email it to you electronically. The value in getting it electronically is that, as you'll see towards the back of the document, there are a number of websites that are available. And there are live links. So I spent time going through it last night, making sure every single link works for you. So you'll get it electronically, and all you'll have to do is be on the internet and click on the back couple of pages, and it will give you 2 to 3 pages of scholarships that are live websites that will not only be search engines, but they'll take you to specific organizations and corporations that are offering you the money. Okay? So on your first page, it talks about scholarships. And I want to let you know there are many forms of paying for college. And there is a lot of language around that that can be sort of confusing. You know, what's the estimated family cost? What's a grant? What's a scholarship? What's the FAFSA? That's something that you hear about a lot. And so there are various forms for funding college. But college is possible and possibly free through the scholarships that you can get. So I'm going to talk about the fact that scholarships, number one, is free money, and you don't have to pay that back. That distinguishes it from a loan and any other kinds of forms of payment or financial aid that you may see. Also, there are many types of providers who are looking to give you the money. Different organizations, there are fraternities, sororities, community organizations, faith-based scholarships, as well as nonprofit, even private lenders. It could be someone who is deceased and their family has begun a foundation in their name. So there are many different types of funders who are looking to give someone the opportunity to go to college. And so in finding money, it's not for the faint at heart. And you'll see in the paragraph that says, how do students find scholarships? It is not for the faint at heart. It is time consuming. It's not like Ed McMahon is gonna knock on your door and say, hello, we were thinking about you, and by the way, We want to fund your college all the way through for free. And even when you think about the lottery and Ed McMahon, still someone put something in the mail. That still takes some kind of legwork. So it's going to take something from you as a parent and from you as a student in order to access the scholarships that are available, okay? And so we're going to talk about the various methods that are available. So I'm not reading, as you can see, word for word, because I do want to give you just an overview. And in all of your spare time, you can go back and read the guide, and hopefully you will reference it frequently. Hopefully you will disseminate it widely to people that you know, to your colleagues, to your friends, and things like that. So who can get a scholarship? So there are a few, as I said before, there are a few misconceptions about who can actually qualify to get a scholarship. And one thing that you need to know, it is not just children who make straight A's. So that's one misconception that students already begin to believe and count themselves out because I don't make straight A's. And so there are different kinds of reasons that you may get a scholarship. It may be because you play athletics, or it may be that the funder is looking for a particular person who is going into a field that they're interested in funding. It may be for females in particular fields that are underserved or underseen by females. Also could be first generation. So maybe no one in your family ever went to college. They're looking for you. So there are various reasons as to why someone is offering a scholarship, and it does not mean that you have to make straight A's in order to get it, okay? Many types of scholarships, many types of students who are able to get a scholarship. So the other thing we want to talk about is that don't count yourself out before you try, okay? And that comes through some of the misnomers that we have about why we can apply. Oh, I make too much money. As a parent, I make too much money, or we didn't file for financial aid, or my children before me never got any funds. It does not matter what has happened before now. There are so many opportunities to fund college. Okay, and so we want to talk about, let's go to the next page. And I hope I'm not rushing too much. So finding scholarships that are right for you. And one thing that I always say is that you are to sell yourself, not sell yourself short. And that's what the scholarship process, application process is about. There's a story that you must tell to the individual who is looking to provide you the scholarship. And what they want to know more than anything may be three things. Do you know who you are? Do you know where you want to go? And can my money get you there? And so that's the story that you have to tell. You have to talk about what makes you unique. What is unique about you? There are some other fundamental things that we're talking about that generally goes into a scholarship application. Yes, your grades, your transcript, your standardized scores, and we'll get into those kinds of things as well. Is that okay. But in looking at a scholarship, what scholarship is best suited for you? So I like to think about it this way. There are keys to success that takes a plan. First of all, we talked about the fact that in order to go to college, it will take money to do so. But when you start looking for a scholarship, you may need to know a scholarship to go where. So you do need to know what college you're going to go to. And then there's a preceding question that says, go to college for what? And which college will I go to? And so that means that you must know how your talents and your skills and abilities actually equal a career. And so in our school system this year, for all eighth graders were given a career assessment. And that's so that every eighth grader could choose an academy as they went into the ninth grade. And so as you know, that we're rolling out more and more academies, and that's not my area, that's the office who does that. But our school counselors give the career assessment. And so that helps students talk about their hobbies and their talents and their skills and what they're good at, and the 16 clusters of careers that you may best be suited for. So that is to guide the academy that you go to. It should guide the internships. It should guide your community service opportunities. It should guide everything you do through high school. It's cultivating those interests and those talents. And sometimes those things equal money. We talked about the jazz band and the alto saxophone and the trumpets and things like that. There are many people who went to college on a music scholarship because they were good and because they loved it. It was a hobby. It just came as something very natural to them. So you must have that intrinsic conversation. Who am I? And what am I really up to? Why am I here in the world? What am I here to do? What is my work? What am I here to impact? And you have to have that conversation. And once you know who you are, why you're here, where you're going, and what you want to do, then you can determine what career paths. It may be more than one, may be good for you. And according to that, what universities will graduate me with the career field that I want? What university? Because it may also mean that that university has a scholarship for me. Okay? Let's move to the next page. Finding a scholarship that's right for you. So I bought one book, and I bought these books so that you would know what are some of the tools that are already existing in our counseling offices. Well, we have some counselors here. I would be remiss if I didn't ask them to stand up. Cassandra, she's our latest addition this year. Can you tell what school you're from?
I represent, my name is Cassandra Thomas, and I'm a professional school counselor for Chillum Elementary School as well as Carroll Highlands Elementary School.
Yes, and she's still smiling. New counselor. We have another school counselor.
Stephanie Parker. I'm a professional school counselor here at High School Middle. Welcome to High School Middle.
Excellent. And star counselor from high school, Doreen.
Hi, I'm Doreen Hogan, professional school counselor at
So we have elementary and we have middle school and we have high school represented here. Excellent. One thing I do want to say is Doreen was instrumental on Friday. I sat in her College Board workshop. We had our National College Fair at the Sports and Learning Complex. And there were many students who came from Delaware, from New Jersey, from Philadelphia, from all over, namely us, Prince George's County Public Schools, but Anne Arundel as well, Howard County, Montgomery County, and students were well behaved, but a part of being able to interface with college representatives, how timely is this? They also went to a scholarship workshop that Doreen taught. And so you see our counselors are here, it's after 5. So we do have to talk about the fact that they're dedicated to the work that they do, and they know more probably than I do about interfacing with children and doing this work on a continual basis. And so I also just want to show you, this is a resource. It's from the College Board. It is our college counseling source book. It tells counselors what to do from A to Z, from 9th grade through 12th grade. When to take the SAT, when to take the PSAT, what kind of scholarships and financial aid services are available, and on and on and on. So with this, I say, please make sure that you see your school counselor. One additional piece I want to talk about, and you're welcome to peruse this at the end of the session. This is also another College Board tool. It talks about how to get financial aid. It also lists scholarships and grants in it. It is also in your school counselors in the high school in their office. So this is another resource. It also is attached to many universities and what scholarships they also provide. Okay, moving right along because I don't want to miss something crucial. But one thing I will say, and I mentioned the SAT. This year, Prince George's County paid for 11th graders to take it free and 12th graders to take it free. One thing and one thing only I do want to say about this is when you know better, you do better. So exposure to the SAT is all about knowing what's on the test, knowing how to take the test, and then being able to improve your scores. So if you were an 11th grader and you took the SAT during SAT Day, first time this year, you'll be able to take it again next year, free of charge, as a 12th grader. And so the more you take it, the more exposure you have, the more you know, the better your scores will be. Why is that important? Because as you begin to apply to different colleges and universities, they want to know what scores you have. But they also want to know what else you did. They do want to know, were you in band, or were you in the Glee Club, or were you in other community service opportunities. So the 5 things that you need to know for applying, it talks about the application and what you need to do. It is not rocket science, but there is a method to the madness. You must be organized, making multiple copies of the letter of recommendations that you will ask for. No, your grandmother can't write a letter of recommendation for you. Go figure. Okay? So this talks about the kinds of people that you want to ask to be able to talk about your academic, your social, your leadership abilities, and things like that. So I'm going to leave that with you. One last thing I want to show you on this guide. When you get it electronically, there are a few websites that we listed as search engines. And that means you can click on this and it will take you to many other scholarships. So this is just one. Even the federal state aid also has a site. College Board also has a scholarship search. The Maryland Higher Ed Commission, who is here today, they also have scholarship information for you, as well as how to fund college. Freeforyou.com is also listed as a major search engine. And you can see a lot of these, you go in and you create a profile. And you say, these are the kinds of things I'm up to. Find me money that will fund me in order to have this kind of career or do this kind of activity because I'm good at it. Even Sally Mae has a scholarship search. Who knew? Okay, and one thing I want to talk about before we go, and that is our own Prince George's County Public Schools. My secretary, Ms. Kim Hyatt, receives scholarships every single day from the county, from federal organizations, all over. And as we receive them, we will post them, but they will fall off as the deadline expires. So that's the other thing, is that sometimes you look at the scholarship website, it will be extremely long. And then other times you'll look at it, it will be yay long. Because as the scholarships become due and they expire, then they are automatically dropping off of the scholarship website. But to get to this, it is also on that page, it talks about a PGCPS website. It'll take you here. And when you get here, we also have multiple search engines, like the College Savings Plan. Every elementary parent needs to go here and find out, how can I start saving money right now? You have the Maryland Higher Ed Commission, you have the College Board database, you also have FAFSA, and on and on and on, and a few other scholarship databases, and you just click on it and it just brings it up for you. And that is our own scholarship website. One last thing I want to say is that if you are taking AP courses, it is a scholarship opportunity. How is that? Because if you take an AP course and you take the exam and you score a 3 or better, universities will receive that credit. That means that's a class you will not have to take once you get to college. You've already taken it. And so your parents won't have to pay for it. Another thing is that this year, I believe is the second year that we have middle college. We have a group of 9th graders who will take all of their classes on Prince George's County Community College. When they leave at the end of 4 years, they will have an associate's degree in allied health. that is a 2-year scholarship to most parents. Yes. So these are things that you want to be on the lookout for. If you have even an 8th grader, just know that they'll be taking a STEM test and they'll be looking to qualify for these kinds of programs. These programs save you money because you're incurring college credit before you even have to pay anything towards college. So I could go on. And if you want to take questions, we can take questions now.
I'll let them come and introduce themselves and just tell you who they are, what schools they graduated from, and whatever it is that you want to talk to the parents about their students going to college, or anything you want to tell them to help their students get out of high school, or if you want to tell them your child that needs to be at Prince George County Public Schools. I mean, you want to tell them that. I mean, hey, tell them that, we can talk about it. I know you're not going to tell them that, but, I keep it real. And I know the county council, PT, I know he backed me up. We get this all the time. So, let's show some love for my students from University of Maryland. And you all introduce yourselves, and I think you're going to be on TV, and so where do you want to just stand?
You can stand right there in front.
You can stand right here.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kaditi Bangura. I'm a sophomore at the University of Maryland, College Park, studying process engineering.
My name is Najia Mali. I'm a freshman bioengineering major at the University of Maryland. I graduated from Ogden Hill High School last year, so.
I went to Charles Flowers High School. Well, basically, we want to tell you guys today, especially regarding STEM, since we are in STEM fields. As you can see, we're both two females, African American females in that. So at the University of Maryland, there are not that many. So it starts early. So we want to kind of talk to you guys, like, do everything basically you can to get, not to force your kids into STEM fields, but at least get them exposed to it so they can make the decision later that they don't want to be in the STEM field and not like forced because they don't understand it or feel like they're not good enough for a STEM field later on in life. Because there are many benefits in STEM fields, like, of course, jobs, just like a broader understanding of the world and greater knowledge. So, I don't know.
Kind of off what she was saying, the STEM field isn't for a lot of people, and I know that's something that a lot of people aren't ready to hear, but STEM is really demanding. Engineering is really demanding, and so if your child isn't exposed to the STEM field beforehand, or if they're in a place where they're not really comfortable with what they're doing. I mean, they're doing great in their high school, but if you look at the statistics compared to other people, and they're just doing well in their school, but not doing well compared to everybody else, and then they come to a university like the University of Maryland, it's guaranteed they're gonna have a hard time. But the point is that they also need to know that that there's help. There's help everywhere. You can start off, if you feel like you're not getting what you need from your high school, there's summer programs. I know at the University of Maryland, we offer at least 20 different summer programs for kids, not only through elementary school, but for middle school, high school kids. We have programs throughout the semester. We're from NSB, or the Black Engineering Society on campus, and with that, we have torch events, and torch is an outreach program where kids come to the campus maybe 4 or 5 times a semester, and we're with them all day. We provide them breakfast and lunch, and then we go through different workshops. I know one of them, we had them in the wood shop, we had them working with programming. There's just different programs you can get involved in. So if you feel like your child isn't where they need to be, as she was saying, it's good to get out into these programs, because a lot of students they're not exposed to what they need to be exposed to when they come to college. And then if you find a high rate of people coming into the STEM field and a low rate of students graduating in the STEM field. So that's part of the mission with NSB and the Black Engineering Society. We want to increase the numbers of students who not only stay in the engineering field throughout college, but to also do the engineering work outside of college. And another thing I feel like a lot of students need to know is that your major doesn't determine who you are. because you can come out as a business major and then you can go do whatever you want. You can be an engineering major and go work in business field. You can be an engineering major and just you do art. You can literally do whatever you want. So your major doesn't determine what you're gonna do in your future. Because I know a lot of people who work in the Center for Minorities at the University of Maryland started off as engineering majors, and now they're working with recruiting students to come into the STEM field. So that it's not the end of the world if you're not if you feel like you want to be a STEM major, but you have other aspirations.
Kind of going off what she was saying with the summer programs and stuff, you have to start early. I went to Charles Flowers. I was in science and tech, so I did engineering from like my 9th grade in high school. But when I went to the university, and I was like top of my class, good grades and everything. When I went to the University of Maryland, when I was put in like a larger field where people are from schools where they've been studying engineering since birth, like their parents were engineers and stuff, I still felt like smaller compared to everyone, even though like I was at such a high, So I feel like even though I had exposure, if I had more exposure, like just doing, I didn't do any summer programs or anything. My job now is Center for Minorities and Science Engineering. We offer Lego camps, women engineering camps where they do like things like just like making lip gloss, you know what I mean? Like that's engineering, like just everything, just getting students more engaged in engineering like at an earlier age. So by the time they do get there, they won't feel small because everyone else has been exposed to it for so long. And they got it like so late, you know what I mean?
And another thing on doing these programs, like the reason why we keep stressing them is because they're really important when it comes down to actually coming into college. I mean, I did a program at Bowie State, and so I came into college having 12 credits alone from this program. So, and then there's also programs within schools, because I graduated as a science and tech student at the university, not university, but at Oxon Hill. So they had a lot of different programs going on at the school too. So look into programs through your actual school, because we had a partner relationship with the University of Maryland, and I ended up taking a course called Bio 100, and it was a math introductory course to engineering. So we related the math topics to the engineering world, and like now that I'm taking these classes, I'm looking back and I'm like, oh, I learned all this stuff when I was taking this class my senior year in high school, and from that alone, I got another 4 credits. So I came in with credits that weren't even from AP credits, and AP credits are really important because when your kids get into college, you'll find that a lot of the things are determined on like where they stand, So I mean that comes from housing, like the room assignments. I mean to even coming in and scheduling. I mean I'm not pushed. If your child's not ready for AP credits, that doesn't mean anything. But it's amazing if you come in with a lot of credits. I personally know a lot of students who came from different places around the United States, and I know somebody who came in with 56 credits. I mean, as a freshman, they're technically a sophomore, second semester sophomore, as a freshman, a first semester freshman. So, I mean, getting involved, taking these courses, like I said, your child has to be ready to be pushed too, because if you're pushing them and like they're not ready to be pushed to where they're being pushed, it's also going to backfire. So make sure they're interested in what they're getting ready to go into, because it's really hard going through years of college as an engineering student. If you realize your senior year in college, you're not happy. You've gone through 6 semesters of college and all this money that you put towards going to college, because as she said, college is not cheap. And especially for a good education. I mean, you can find education anywhere, but you want to go to the best of the best, So when people say, where'd you graduate from college? You want to say, University of Maryland, we're ranked 100 in the world, like in the top 100 in the world. Like they like hearing stuff like this. You want to go to a good college. You don't want to settle for less. I mean, but then again, you also don't want to go to a college where you're not ready for it either. So it's really important to do the research on the college, do the research on what you want to do, and do the research on the field. Like I said earlier, your child can say, oh, I want to be a doctor when I You know, that's great. But I wanted to be a doctor, and now I'm a bioengineer. So, you know, just get your child out to do these different activities and let them grow and learn the things that they're actually interested in. So,
we brought some pamphlets here. One is questions about college. It has from elementary school to 12th grade, so you can just look through. And another one is college preparation checklist, so how to find money for school, picking a career, picking a major, taking the right classes, stuff like that. Things that will prepare you so that you look good and you stand apart when you are applying for colleges. So. Oh, and the art stuff, that stuff is good because colleges look at that. Like I mean, if everybody has a 4.0, what makes this 4.0 different from this 4.0? Oh, this 4.0 plays saxophone. Okay, we'll take that one. So.
Thank you all so much. This was, you know, I know I'm getting ready to be prejudiced now. This was the best presentation of the evening. From the students, and you all are gonna keep posting on my website. They go to YouTube, y'all know all the social media stuff they do. And anyway, this was so important what both of you all said. Now, I'm hearing. I have a question. Of course, okay. When you say STEM and, you know, when you go to college and, you know, what your majors, you're going to make money and everything, what type of jobs, what are the names of some of the jobs that you all are talking about? I know there's some parents over here that want to know, well, what are you talking about? You know, I enjoy working on cars. I like to get my hands dirty and do oil changes. Is that engineering or what is that? Tell me about that.
Engineering is not just car engineering. Engineering is everything. The building that you're in, the chairs that you're on, the clothes that you're wearing, everything. Engineering is in everything. Like bioengineering, so if your child says they want to be a doctor, you don't have to just do, you know, biology or like pharmacy or something to be a doctor. You can be a bioengineer and create like, creating medical devices and stuff, you know? Everything. I'm doing fire protection engineering. Most people would say, like, what's that? University of Maryland is the only accredited school for fire protection engineering. I want to go into fire protection. Yeah. So most people say, oh, so you want to be a firefighter? No, I don't. I want to do like fire forensics and stuff. So like if someone working for insurance companies, maybe someone burns down a building, basically determining like what materials were used to burn it down, how long it took, was it arson, was it fraud, stuff like that. What other kind of engineering? Aerospace engineering, just how to be an astronaut. Aerospace engineering would be great.
Absolutely not even the same thing, to be honest.
It's not, but I mean,
with aerospace, yes, a lot of people do like go into aerospace engineering thinking, oh, I want to be an astronaut. But there's so much more to aerospace engineering than there's so much more to absolutely everything. Nothing is limited by its title. I know one of my sisters in my sorority is an aerospace engineer, and she works with a company where she's building like the actual spacecraft, you know? She's been working on that, and there's a lot of things that go into building things. Like the chair that you're sitting on right now, I'm pretty sure nobody knows the mechanics behind it. I mean, we've taken classes that we can explain to anybody, well, if you're not understanding as well as others, but we know like what goes into making these chairs. We know what goes into like making these things because of the thought processes like bioengineering. People say, what's bioengineering? I mean, that's a very broad spectrum. I know one person is working, somebody at the University of Maryland is working on powering batteries with bacteria. I mean, that's bioengineering. I mean, mechanical, it's not all about like making cars, you know?
Okay, we have a question.
Yeah, question. At what point did you make the decision that you wanted to have college as an option? Middle school, elementary school, or high school?
Well, actually for me, in early high school, I wasn't thinking about college. I wanted to go to the Air Force, but my mom shot that idea down. Of course, college was the option. My mom is a single mother, and she was first generation college student, so she knew, like, she always stressed the importance of education. I'm foreign, so you're not making an American if you don't have an education. There's nothing you can do without an education, which is not necessarily true, but she knew that she had to struggle coming here to get her education, and she didn't want it to be like me, like her waiting later to come back and go to college and struggling as well. So I think it's more emphasis on the parents placing it on the child. Like you don't just wake up one morning and say, so.
With me, I was raised by a single mother, and I came from a place where a lot of people weren't going to college. You know, I'm the first generation in my family to go to college, to be successful, to like actually be to graduate top percentile in my class. Like there's just a lot of things like that, and I've always known from elementary school, my family, I'm the first generation, I know I'm going to college. So I knew throughout the whole entire time, and that's what got me through high school, middle school, elementary, that's what's getting me through now. I am first generation, and I will complete college, and I will be successful. So
that's the story that we need to tell. That's why I asked the question. That's the story we need to tell.
Okay, we have a question from our cameraman.
Well, my question is, when did the light bulb go off that you knew exactly what you wanted to do? Because going to college is one thing, because college now is a business. But the other hand, you know exactly what you wanted to do. That's a question for both of y'all. Think about it for your answer.
To be honest, I still don't know what I want to do.
Exactly.
You don't have to have your mind set up coming to college. I mean, it's good that I know that I want to become an engineer. I mean, I honestly didn't even decide I wanted to do engineering until the day before the application was due. To be honest, I was going to do regular biology, but my teacher convinced me that I should go to engineering. So it's partly because of, I had a good support system from my school, but partly because, I was interested in it. So, I mean, I still don't know what I'm going to do when I graduate. I still don't know what I want to do. There's different tracks you can go in with bioengineering. I mean, there's systems, there's pre-med, there's just bioengineering itself. And, I mean, you don't exactly know where you want to go. It's just you have to know that you want to go somewhere.
Exactly like what she said. I don't know, but I mean, I want to do preferences now. Tomorrow I might want to be a nurse. Who knows? But it's more about having goals and trying to reach those goals. If you change your mind along the way, it's okay, as long as you don't close doors. You want to, have all your options available. So don't shut things down before and then you can't go back to those. So just have a target, where you want to go, build off of that. If you change your mind later, it's okay, as long as you still have somewhere else to go after that.
Great job.
Absolutely wonderful, and I believe that you all are going to be on the speaking circuit.
One question they didn't ask us is that you're looking for scholarships, right?
I
hope so.
Of course, also, who wants to pay for college?
You need to see this
Oh,
gentleman.
I just asked. You always ask for money when you start college.
This is one of Mr. Ernest Moore from the County Council PTAs. You all still give out scholarships, right?
Oh, we give a lot of things.
They give I just been PTA president, and I know what they used to do, and I'm sure under his great leadership, they're doing the same thing. But you all have been absolutely wonderful, and we've learned a lot. We're going to have this online. I want to thank you all. I want to thank this young lady. We didn't hear from her. We want to thank you for just being attentive and just providing support, because we are a team. To everyone that's Ignitia from Maryland National Capital Parks and Planning, thank you. MAGC, everybody, all my communications. Oh, they my photography, my videographer, this is just a wonderful team to be on. Dr. Crawley is our interim superintendent, and certainly without his leadership and without his support, I could not have done what I did tonight. I thank you all. I have my cards. If you have questions, you need information, to the administrators, and I can provide you support. Whatever you need, I'm available. 24 hours a day. I can get to it quick if you do me an email, but if you call me, and I read everything. If you need me to come to schools, whatever I need to do, if I can't be there, I'll have staff, and we do have wonderful staff. So I'm going to wrap up. I know that it's been a long day. We have handouts here. We have handouts in the back. Please be sure and get some. Thank you all so much. Thank you, everybody else. Okay, thank you all again. Thank you.